We love hearing stories about small circle trainings all around the world. But what really lights us up here at Small Circle is hearing about generational multiplication. We love to hear from those who have had someone walk them through the table for two journey of exchange and then move confidently into the next stage of walking another through the same journey. This life-changing, continuing movement of multiplication is the true goal Jesus was aiming for. This is what today's episode is all about. I'm your host of this podcast, Carrie McCoy, and today I'm sitting down for a chat with Emily. Emily and I have finished going through Xchange together, and now she's beginning her own journey for the first time with her friend Taylor. If you've ever had questions about the first steps in what it's like to begin this journey with another, this episode is packed with real-life experience. If you don't want to get too excited about taking someone through the journey of exchange, go ahead and skip this conversation. Emily's story is as real and authentic as it can possibly be. We won't stop sharing stories like hers, and before we jump in, now is a great time to hit that subscribe button for more. Thanks for listening today, everybody. So I get to use my disciple, Emily. Say hi, Emily.
Hello.
I wanted to bring her in here. We're in our home. We just met for our last session of Xchange, but we kind of delayed it. I think we like just hanging out. Even though she's taken her disciple, we are really like not ending our process together. And I think that's okay personally. But anyway, don't use us as a model. But anyway, hello, Emily.
Hello.
I wanted Emily in this conversation just because I think it's so helpful to hear from people who have gone through Xchange and now stepping into an exchange relationship of their own. This is my third generation now.
I think you're one, I'm two, and then she would be three.
Right. It's my first third, so I guess I'm the grandma.
Yeah. That is how I told you. So congratulations, you're a grandma.
You did. You sent me that in a voice text. I was so excited. So let's go back. I mean, we're getting carried away. Let me go back and set the stage for everybody here. So Emily and I started Discipleship. We started Xchange, and I always think in terms of landmark events in your life. It was before you got married, before you got engaged, before you got your certification.
Yeah.
Which you're now, what is your title? You work in the ER.
Registered nurse.
Registered nurse. And when we met, when we started Xchange, think about how long ago that was. You were in school.
Yeah.
You were taking tests.
Failing tests.
But you're here.
I made it.
You did great.
Yeah.
I always think in terms of landmark events. I don't know if you call it that, but yeah.
I would say you were with me for probably the biggest life events. The only thing that could probably top it is when a kid comes along.
Right. Which not yet.
Not yet.
So how old are you?
I am 24.
I think we met when you were 22, possibly 2 years ago. I know we've been at least 2 years into it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's either 21 or 22.
We're not in any rush. We have a lot of fun together. I don't think I ever want to end, right?
Correct.
But okay, so this is the value of this is just hearing the journey that you were on, stepping into Xchange, and then now you have your disciple, and you're already probably at 0.3.
Just finished 0.3 today.
Okay. So we do keep the labs a secret in our conversations so we don't like ruin any surprises other people might be going through.
Okay.
So we can talk about Xchange, but we just don't talk too detailed about the labs, but that's okay. All right. So take us back. How was your experience as a disciple? In a brief recap of what that did for you and that experience personally.
Well, when I first started Xchange, it kind of got off to a rocky start of I started with somebody else and then they moved away and then you and I picked it up. And I think initially I probably got into it for the wrong reasons of wanting a mentor. But when you and I got together, it was because I wanted to take somebody else through it. It wasn't because I wanted a mentor. It was because I wanted the nurturing, I guess, to build me up to take on that next person. And I mean, I definitely got it. It worked. I've got somebody now. But yeah.
Yeah. I remember I had discipled someone who'd moved away, but she had taken you on. And then how far were you in when she left?
I think we had definitely finished the first book. Right. So we were into the second one. So
but when we started all over again.
We started at 0.
Yeah.
Yes.
We wanted to go through it again because the history of the relationship is important. Not so much the information, but to take the time.
Yeah.
In the relationship. And I'm really glad we did.
Me too, because I feel like by the second book it's when your disciple and your disciple maker are also comfortable enough with each other that there's not walls up anymore. It's fully open book. Here's my scars kind of a situation. And if we had just picked it up in the second book, then we would have only really reached that by the third book.
And we've really hijacked of the front end of a real powerful time in history as you journey through those topics. And I think we would have shortchanged us learning about each other personally, which is a big part of it. But yeah, think about, I tell people often, they ask, how long does it take to go through? And I'm like, I've never gone less than 2 years through somebody. And I think it just goes, we have fun, but there are life events. Okay. So you and Evan got engaged. Yeah. And now you are married, and you've been married going on, this is 2 years?
2 years, yep.
So actually, we've been doing an exchange longer than 2 years. I think we hit a record. It's okay. I'm glad.
I know. I think we just enjoy meeting still, so we need a reason to still meet.
Yeah. So I remember, going through and just, you were the best. We just had such a great chemistry and being able to journey like this together. So, along the way, we were always in conversation about who are you going to take on. There was never a doubt that you were not going to move forward and take someone through Xchange, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you started to when you finished, what do you feel your confidence level changed?
I didn't feel ready to take somebody through discipleship, honestly, even when I finished it, because it's a big shift, because you go from, okay, well, I don't have to plan the labs. I just need to do my homework and show up and be ready for a discussion. Whereas when you're in the disciple maker role, it's, okay, I need a few weeks to prepare for our session that's 4 sessions out. So it's a shift in dynamics from, oops, I need to do my homework, we're meeting tomorrow, to, okay, I now have to plan something for 2 months out. So I think it's a definite shift in mentality, as well as it's a massive responsibility. And you were a great disciple maker, so I felt like I had big shoes to fill. And I want, and I still want my partner to feel that the passion that I have for it, that you gave me, because I want my disciple to feel that. But that being said, I think that's true of any life event. You never feel ready to have kids. You never feel ready to buy a house. You don't feel ready until you put yourself in this situation. You just do it.
Right. And you're using the app.
Yes,
right?
We are. Yes.
You and I use the books. The app wasn't quite what it is today then. I think we elected to do the books, but again, that was 3 years ago-ish.
Something. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think, speak to the value of having the tools, having that roadmap to follow, in how that helps you with your confidence and becoming a disciple maker now. So
I will say it is kind of nice to have the books, because I will do the sessions on the app and I'll be like, I wonder what 3-4 years ago Emily was thinking when she was doing this lesson. So I'll go back and I'll reread it, and it's really interesting to see the shift, the mindset shift that you go through. And it's not like I've changed completely. It's just I've matured, and my faith has grown, and I'm looking at it from a different light. So it's my answers to the questions from what 0, 1 are completely different to the answers that I have for my Disciple Maker guide.
Right. So it's not so much that it wasn't so much the books, but you were talking about like your answers. And I think that's the beauty of even, in the app, you can go through and create a new profile for your next
one
disciple. And you'll have, you can go back and refer to your old notes. But what you were saying is to be able to see the growth of and how the material, the study, the scripture, and all of those topics have grown in you, matured in you. And you're able to look back and see your answers. I think that's a beautiful thing. Like I love looking back at old answers and going, wow, I do see growth in myself. It is a reflection of that. So I do see the value in that as well.
And I remember in reference to the tools that are available, the app is very easy to navigate. Super, super user-friendly. Because when we did the books, there would be a Bible verse that you had to read, and then you had to go look up the Bible verse, which is good. Everyone should be exploring their Bible.
Right.
But in the app, it's Bible verse is there, and you just click it, and it's like, oh, here's exactly what you need to read. So it definitely is very convenient to use. And I found that I can do it in spots where I wasn't able to do the books. So I like to sit in my bed because that's my quiet place. And I like to do it in my bed where there's no distractions anywhere around me. We don't have any sort of TV or anything in our room, so that it's quiet. And doing the books in my bed was kind of hard because then it's trying to navigate writing as well.
Yeah, and you have your phone anywhere. You can bring it or your laptop.
Exactly.
Or whatever. So when your experience going through it, and I've never asked you this question, but what was your favorite standout, if you had one, topic we covered, or do you have a favorite as you reflect back on all of them?
I feel like this is pretty universal, but my favorite was probably 04.
04, yeah. That's the one you're coming up with.
Yeah.
And I love that you said 0.4, because if we say the lab, it's going to be a little bit of a buzzkill for people that haven't done it before. That is the pivotal moment, though.
Yes. And then I know you don't want to talk about the labs, but I can't remember which one it was. But the one with the blindfold.
Okay.
That one.
That one.
That is a lab, but I remember the lesson that came out of it. It was, I'm pretty sure it's in Zero book.
Okay. Could be. Yeah.
Because I remember we were still pretty fresh. And you're like, okay, put this blindfold on and trust me. And I just remember relating that lab back to how we view and are supposed to be trusting God. And that lab also really resonated with me. I really like that lab as well.
I really think the labs, are just stick with you.
Yeah.
I've asked people before, the parts of Xchange that they really enjoyed, and it's always 75% of it is the felt experience that they had through the lab, which just bakes in whatever thing you're learning, just makes you remember.
Yeah.
And relive it in your mind. And as you're reliving the experience, you relive what God was teaching you, right? I think there's a lot of value in that. So talk about the process. We had a hard time kind of journeying together when it came time for you to take someone on, because you were trying to find being a wise investor. Talk about the tension of that and decisions that you made and how you strategically selected Taylor now.
Yeah.
If you could.
Yeah. Going through it, I knew I wanted to take somebody through it, but I didn't want to take just anybody through Xchange.
Now help people understand why.
Because you and I have a relationship outside of Xchange now, and it's a friendship. And I wanted that with somebody else. I wanted someone who was going to be in my life after Xchange, because it really bonds you. This whole experience knits you into this other person's life. And I wanted somebody who had the same values of they're doing it because they then want to take somebody else through it as well. They're not doing it for the mentorship. They're doing it for the growth and then taking it forward. And it was hard to find somebody like that.
So speak to people that want to do it virtually. We get that a lot. Oh, I want to do it with my friend that lives in the other state. Why couldn't I do that? And they don't know the tools well enough to know why we would just discourage that. How can you imagine the same experience you and I had over Zoom and you being in another state? Why?
First of all, the labs. Like a lot of the labs are hands-on. It's hard to do a hands-on lab through Zoom.
It is.
It's also hard to, I feel like, build the relationship outside of Xchange, because it's okay from 6 to 8 we have our Zoom for Xchange, and then I have to go and eat dinner. Like there's no
in between.
Yes,
and we had in between.
Yeah, and I will say our schedules were very convenient with that. We had that extra time that we were able to spend, but it's doing it through Zoom, then you don't have the support coming from your church as well, because maybe your church does discipleship in both locations, but there's always like a commonality of, okay, we'll see each other on Sunday as well as when we meet.
An accountability of, wow, where's she been? I haven't seen her in a long time.
Correct.
You can't. Yeah.
It's just
accountability.
It's hard, and that'll definitely be. I could be wrong. That could definitely be a case of, okay, we've finished Xchange. Talk to you
whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. So going back, you wanted to look for someone who you were going to have a journey of a friendship with. Okay.
Yes. And I didn't want to just get partnered up with somebody and they're like, oh, they're interested in going through Xchange. Here you go. Here they are. Here's your package. I wanted to make sure that they were going into it for the right reasons and that it would be a good fit before I just said, okay, yeah, like let's go through this 2-year-long process together that's supposed to intertwine us. Yeah. So Taylor and I met through a church group, and we were in the group together for about 1.5 to 2 months before I actually had the conversation with her about doing Xchange. So I knew who she was. I knew enough about her to know that we would get along.
There's an initial chemistry there.
Yes.
You're similar in age, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a different dynamic than you and I, but that's good, I think. And then we met for the conversation, and it lined up. She was eager to take somebody else through it after she was gone.
From the beginning, you had the conversation from the beginning.
Yes.
And I think we're learning that is including that conversation piece early on, as early as possible, the chances of that person going on and multiplying is very high. Because you're going in with that mindset all along the way, and you can bring these conversations into, like, when you have your disciple, you know.
Yeah.
Building that familiarity with the role, being the disciple, but also being familiar with the role of disciple maker. But that was a great thing you guys had, kind of birthed this relationship out of your group.
Yes.
Which that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Like you said, you could observe. And you didn't just go up to her and invite her to Xchange. Did you kind of have coffee and discuss it first, or how did you come to that conversation?
So I was aware that she wanted to go through Xchange, and she was looking for a partner. And I made the conscious effort to listen to how she was speaking in the group to see where she stood, where she was in her walk, what she wanted her walk to look like. Because the group we're in is an intimate group. It's a smaller group. But I just asked her, I was like, hey, let's go out for ice cream. I just have a couple questions I want to ask you. And when we met up, I was like, I know that you're interested in going through Xchange. I just want to know what that looks like for you. So it wasn't a case of, I want to do Xchange with you. It's, what does it look like? And then only once she had given me her description of what walking through Xchange looked like is when we spoke about it a little in further depth. And then I said, okay, well, I would be interested if you would be interested in going with me. And that's how we decided to do it.
It's awesome. I love it. Okay, so for someone who's never done it before, everybody's like, what does it look like when you meet together? So talk about how our time was. What did we do? Tell people how our like you show up at my house, or what did it look like? Just lay it out for people. What your experiences was. Just one.
Yeah.
Not in great detail, but what did we do? And
yeah. So we would, we met at your house, would meet, would kind of have a catch up period of what's new in our weeks and what we're struggling with. So whatever we decided to speak about beforehand. And
just
then
talk.
Yes. And then would dive into that lesson for the week of what did we like from the lesson? What did we really resonate with? And then there's questions. We would go over the questions. And I always enjoy going over the questions because it's different perspectives. And I would listen to how you interpreted the question, and I would listen to how I interpreted the question. And then we would interpret the question together. And that was just, So we'd do that. And then we'd do the lab. And then we'd just talk about what we wanted the rest of our week to look like, what our goals were for the week. And then we'd pray and I'd leave.
You're forgetting pancakes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, lots of pancakes. During that discussion time in the beginning, I would sit at the counter and Carrie would cook me breakfast. And coffee, and lots of iced coffees.
Lots of coffee. We had omelets even today. No, I think that's, food, coffee, it's all part of experience of being together and that whole relationship piece. But yeah, you took us through a good structure of how we did it and explained how that was. And I think what we probably met, at least I would say 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours. But we love each other and we enjoy we do a lot of chat and catch up and relationship, which is kind of funny because I'm in my 50s and you're in your 20s. But I feel like I learned so much from you. I did. And it was mutual. It worked, didn't it?
It did. It really did.
And now you're taking someone through who is your season of life. So that's different. So far, how have your sessions been and how have you handled those your way?
Yeah, so I think we're still trying to figure out our ebb and flow just because
we're only the 0.3.
Yes. So we've actually, so far we've met at a different location each time.
I love that.
The first time we met at my place, and which was good. Which is where we're going to meet for the next one because the next one it needs an intimate setting. The second one it was related to the lab. We met at a breakfast place.
Great.
And then this most recent one, we actually just met at a park and sat on a bench. And
love
chatted.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't always have to go to a house. You can go for a walk. And because you are using the app, you can be totally portable.
Yep.
What do you want most for Taylor? It's kind of
that is a very big question.
It's a big fat question. Yeah, so let me table that one. How does it feel to wake up to that first session? You're going to walk into the very first, and it's your first time. You've never discipled anyone before. You've had this discipleship experience, you and I. Walk me through that morning when you're like, it's go time.
I was very anxious. I had such a great experience with you, and I still want that for my disciple. As I want her to walk out of this and be like, wow, that was amazing. And now I want to do this for somebody else. So I think I sweated through like 3 layers of deodorant. I was so anxious. I really was. I really, really was. But
and what part? Is it just because it's foreign? You haven't done, because you knew the material. And I resonate with you. So I'm asking you these questions so other people can hear and they can be like, oh, thank goodness she was nervous too. Oh no, there's butterflies for sure.
I think the part that I was most anxious about was not getting the point across in like a way that she would resonate with, if that makes sense. I knew what I wanted to say, But I also know that my understanding of things is completely different to how you interpret things as well. So I wanted her to learn something from our meeting and like, yeah, get it, wrap your head around it. Like, I wanted her to be able to be like, wow, I'm going to go home this week and this is how I'm going to act differently, or this is how I'm going to change my habits this week. I wanted there to be something that kind of was like a gong that was like, that's something that I need to do.
Now, was the second time a little easier?
Oh, yeah.
And the third time a little easier?
Yes.
So it's kind of that first one, right?
Yeah.
Like anything, you do it the first time and you're like, okay, I've done that.
Yeah.
Wasn't as bad as I thought in terms of I made it through. God was there.
Yeah.
And he shows up, doesn't he?
Yes.
Did you feel that? I always felt like, you pray before you meet and you're just like, Lord, just take it and be in the conversation and be in the space between us. And he shows up. He's faithful to do that. And just kind of, then you just breathe and it melt into it and let him do the work.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. It was just, I think it was my own human nature getting in the way. It was the lack of trust in what has already been done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's his message. We're just kind of delivering.
Yeah.
Following the path, the questions and all that. But it really is the Holy Spirit that does the work. But, and you were sharing with me earlier, you can see the proximity of the relationship is still new, right?
Yep.
You're just getting to that point of familiarity and building trust and safety and stuff like that. But you were saying to me not too long ago when we were sitting up at the bar having our omelet, you were saying she's already talking about her next disciple. I thought that's so cool. And you tell me what you said. Repeat that phrase about mentorship and partnership. I thought this is good. I wrote that down.
Yeah. So when we were in the stages of meeting, trying to decide if we were going to do Xchange together, I asked her basically what she thought Xchange was. And there was a bit of mentorship mentioned in her description, but ultimately it was a growth in her relationship with the Lord. And I turned around to her and I said, I just want you to know that this isn't a mentorship, this is a partnership. Yes, the beginning, it may be me leading you a little bit, but we are equals. We're on the same playing field. I'm just helping you. It's not a mentorship, it's a partnership.
I really like that because I think a lot of people, they get caught up into who's the disciple maker, who takes that role sometimes in the initial pairing up when a church is introduced, kind of like, what are those roles? And there's an experience for both, but it's a journey. Becomes that mutual iron sharpening iron in book 2, that getting that person, your disciple, ready to be thinking differently as a disciple maker. So what advice or pointers or thoughts, pivots that you would have for someone listening who's thinking about doing Xchange, feeling intimidated by taking that first step? Here you are, 24. So anybody older than you should feel confident. So that's why I want to do this interview,
Yeah.
What would you give them for advice?
It's not as scary as you think it is. I think the scariest part is making the first move of your first meeting, your first approaching someone saying, would you be interested in doing this? But quite frankly, at the end of the day, you're not the one doing it. It's the Lord doing it through you. So my advice would be, don't be so scared to make the first move. Because it's God guided. There's a reason that he wants you to approach whoever it is.
And how does it feel to become the different role now? And what does it do for you internally to see yourself as a disciple maker? Does that make you change how you view your responsibility and role?
Absolutely, it does. I kind of touched on it earlier. It was a case of, I didn't do my homework. I need to do my homework now. I feel like there's a much bigger responsibility on me now, because I have to plan the labs and like I said, some of the labs take weeks to plan. And I remember the impact that the labs had on me and the preparation that went into the labs as well. I want that for my disciple as well. I want her to look back on 0-1 and be like, yeah, I remember that lab. Yeah, I remember the conversation around it as well. And it's like, I want that planning to be impactful.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there is a very big shift. I'm not the greatest planner. I'm just going to throw it out there. I very much so am a fly by the seat of my pants.
Well, and I will say most of the labs do not require.
Yes.
The one you're coming into requires
probably the most.
More. Yes. And I think that's why I'm hearing that in your voice about preparation. I know you're already thinking about it, but most of the labs you could seriously show up and just do.
You totally could.
Yeah.
You totally could.
But you told me something, and I think this is a direct result of you stepping into this role of disciple maker. And that is, you said you've always talked about reading the Bible through, but this was something you decided to do. Talk about that.
Yes. So I've never read the Bible through and through. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. And it was a discussion that got brought up. Actually, we met today or this morning, and it was a discussion that her and I got into. And part of the app, there is a Bible program.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go through the Bible chronologically. There's a couple different ideas. So we've decided to do the Bible in a year because we're just starting Xchange. We're going to be together for the next 2 years. We might as well. So, yep, we have decided that we will be doing a Bible in a year together.
What a great thing to partner up and do.
And it's accountability as well.
It's accountability.
So because we are in the same Bible study with Xchange, we meet every 2 weeks. And on our bye weeks, we are in the same Connect group. So
that's a really neat arrangement that you guys have, so that you're really seeing each other every week.
Yeah.
And that's what we encourage. You come and do Xchange on 1 week, and then on the off weeks, do something together. But you guys are already in a group together. That's super awesome. That works well.
So it helps with the accountability as well of being like, oh, did you get to, I like being able to check off boxes, and through the app, you can check off your boxes when you finish your reading. So, and she said she really enjoys doing that as well. So we've agreed that it will be like an accountability thing of when we see each other, we're like, what box have you checked off today? Like, are you on day 14 or are you on day 13? So it's exciting. I'm excited to read through the Bible. It helps you learn, first of all. Right. And second of all, it's fun to do it with somebody, because then you can be like, oh, well, how did you
you guys are reading the same
this?
text, you're doing the same plan, and it keeps you on track.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm just so proud of you. I'm so excited, and I don't know if I'm more excited or you're more excited. But we always talk about in training, I always tell my husband, make sure you tell the stories where multiplication didn't happen. And I've had some people I've taken through Xchange and multiplication didn't happen. And you were the one I was like, you're going to do it.
I'm pretty sure your words were, I'm not interested in doing Xchange with you if you don't take somebody on.
That's right. I was pretty direct. Confession.
You were pretty fed up at that point.
I'm like, you're doing it. But you were so ready. You just absorbed it. You grew. You weren't afraid. And I think Taylor is just going to reap so much of a benefit from journeying with you. And I can't wait for her. And then it'd be great to come back together and do a podcast with all three of us when it's her turn. And maybe we'll circle back around and do that. But today we just wanted to get your story, our story, and as to the female side of disciple making, perhaps, but also it's a generational disciple making journey that we're on in the multiplication of that. And I'm just excited to see what God's going to do in you. And I'm not letting you go. I always tell people, like, what happens when you finish Xchange? We get a much better enrichment relationship. And I always tell people, when you finish, you just champion.
Yeah.
You know, we're still in a journey together. I'm just your champion, your cheerleader, and available. So I think that's also a beautiful role that I get to be in, watching you do it and doing amazing things. So thanks for sharing.
Thanks
your
for having me.
I love you.
Love you.
It's not a mentorship, but a partnership. Spoken by a 24-year-old investor. There are 20-somethings all around us longing for someone like you to invest in them. The good news is that we have a disciple-making tool all ready for you. It's possible for you right now, no matter where you are. Simply download the Small Circle app on your smartphone and jump right in. There's no hidden fee and no subscription. Small Circle believes in the notion of open-handedly regifting, taking what God has given us and giving it right back to the world. We have financial partners that generously help us accomplish that. If you're a pastor and interested in launching a Table for Two disciple-making movement at your church, email us at contact@smallcircle.com. For those of you already in the game of disciple-making, we're so grateful to partner with you in this movement. Until next time, keep multiplying.